love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted.
All right, welcome everybody to the comic panel. I'm Cody.
I'm Taylon.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Shawenta.
And today we are covering the Gravediggers Union, written by Wes Craig, art by Toby Cypress, colors by Nico Guadaria, and letters by Jared K. Fletcher.
Mm-hmm. I think it's Guardia.
Guardia?
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Nico Guardia. Yeah, that makes sense. It's the first time coming out of my mouth.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so this is our fourth final installment in our Comics Roulette theme.
Mm-hmm. Man, it's been fun. I'm sad already.
Yeah. Yeah. This was part of Shawenta's list. If you're just now joining us for the first time for our Comics Roulette theme, we each made a list of 5 books, ranging from books that we were excited to read to books that we were not excited to read. Mm-hmm. And then we put them on a wheel and spun it around and got random results. Shawenta, this was my
4th choice.
Your 4th choice.
It was, out of all of them, the one I was most disinterested in, to be honest. I did not want to read my 5th choice, in the same way you kind of don't want to watch a bad movie.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what your 5th choice was?
Batman Odyssey.
Right, Batman Odyssey.
I really want to see Batman give Robin that gun. I really want to. Because I know it'll be bad.
Yeah.
So everyone was disappointed except for Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I mean, this checked off. So the whole reason this was on my list was I had this from a friend,
mm-hmm.
and I'm going to donate it because they donated it to me. They were like, I don't like this, have it. I was like, thank you. And so I need to read it before I donate it, or else we're just passing it along like a hot potato.
Okay.
So checked off my list.
Checked off your list.
There you
That's
go.
one way to do it. Yeah. So yeah, this is... It is a... So before we started the show, I was saying that this really reminded me of a book that we covered, 3 years ago? Yeah, Outer Darkness.
It's been a bit.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It left an impression on me, Outer Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
It turns out is not related. None of the people that worked on this worked on Outer Darkness.
It does have a similar feel, art-wise.
I will say, I usually put on music when I'm listening to comics, and I was like, okay, I need some sort of ambiance. I was like, I'll go for H.P. Lovecraft, kind of creepy, because the first page is some unknowing or all-knowing monster that's just all eyes, a mass of something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely
commanding
creeped me
some
out.
chimps or apes.
Yeah.
Correction.
But so this has, we jump from that weird scene to modern day, but there is news reports of a ghost storm, like a tornado of ghosts,
zombie attacks,
vampire attacks,
and the news just eating it up and discussing whether ghosts are real or not.
Yeah.
Supernaturalist totally owns Ghost Denier. And then the Gravediggers Union, the people who were in charge of slaying the undead, are everything is under control.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm assuming they're kind of like a global enterprise, and this book kind of focuses on one faction, one base.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because they are a union, and later we see that they're part of the Union 601, Local 601 or something. 606, sorry. Not that it really matters which number, but
it's got to be a creepy number.
Yeah, it would be funny. Somebody out there has Local 666.
But yeah, we get introduced to some of the old timers in the Gravediggers Union. You know, it seems like the world's going crazy with ghosts and supernatural events, and these guys are in charge of keeping it at bay, and it's getting overwhelming.
Yep.
They have Cole, Ortiz, and Haley,
Yeah.
and then some of the younger ones like Rook and Joe, who don't really come up in this book too much.
Yeah, they're more there to be the rookies, basically.
Rook the rookie. I see.
Clever.
It's interesting how some of the zombies are portrayed in these early scenes when they're really trying to drive back this huge horde. Some of them are yelling selfie.
Yeah. Selfie.
And then at the same time, Cole gets like surprised at this one zombie that can talk to him. It has this weird necklace. He retrieves the necklace after they're able to take out the entire horde. Not after like a bunch of close calls, of course. I think even some of the rookies, like, I think Rook is the one who like his arm gets hurt. But it's really bothering Cole. You know, he's an old timer. He's seen so much of this, but it seems like it's never ending and it's getting worse. And he's like, this really feels like it's coming to a head. We need to figure out what's going on. We need to go consult a specific witch we know, Morphea. He's like, she's gotten rich and famous off of, you know, using her skills to tell the future for Wall Street brokers. But they should not be talking to witches.
Yes. Is very against the rules for the union of the Gravediggers Union to talk to and work with witches.
So we get a very much just like typical police movie style scene where they go talk to their boss. But Chief, we need to talk to the witch. No, you won't. You think you're better than me just because I got to my promoted position?
Yeah.
Get out of here. We get that one scene where they're like, afterwards, they're trying to regroup and they're like, we gotta listen to him, I guess.
It's like,
And they're like
no.
looking out the window at like people walking on the street in front of McDonald's, Verizon, Prada, Coca-Cola, all these brand names. And they're like, just look at them. Hard to tell between them and the zombies these days. Like, calm down. Consumerism is a plague, etc.
Yeah.
But Cole convinces Haley, I think it's Haley, right? The blonde guy.
Yeah. It's
He's-
either that or Hallie, but I think it's Hallie.
Hallie.
Hallie. You think so?
Like Haley's Common is what
Yeah.
I always think of. But, you know, he's like, I have a family. I have a family to go home to. You know, we need to, like, not put ourselves in jeopardy over just, like, something you're probably imagining. Like, I don't understand why this necklace medallion has, like, bothered you and, like, what it has to do with your daughter, who you don't even talk to anymore.
Yeah.
And Haley does the great thing of saying, at least I have a family to go home to. And immediately regrets that. And then they see on the news a huge ghost storm.
In
Has
Florida.
already killed 20,000 people.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
And by ghost storm, it's just like a huge hurricane that's made of ghosts.
Yeah. I believe that you interpreted it correctly, but I think that there is a nice ambiguity to that line too, that it's is estimated that over 20,000 people may be dead.
Okay.
But it's like also like it's a ghost storm, so it's like
Are they surviving the ghost storm?
right, or is it a ghost storm of a magnitude of 20,000 ghosts?
Yeah, but you know, seeing that huge ghost storm, and Haley's like, "Oh man, I got a cousin down there," and they're like, "This is what we're talking about. It's getting worse. We need to, just, whatever about the rules. We got to go talk to this witch." And so they actually dip into union funds to fund their trip out to see the witch, Morphea. Of course, she's not super interested in seeing them, and she's living in a little trailer, and they're like, "What? You said she was rich. What's with this?"
That's like she was when I met her.
And she admits that. She goes, "I used to be rich. I was getting rich off of telling the future." Coven Incorporated Financial Advisors. She was getting too rich, too powerful. People were relying on her. Her rise to power got interrupted by the Black Temple. They worship dark gods. And also she makes the connection when Cole shows her the medallion. She goes, oh, this is, your daughter always drew this symbol. And he's like, oh God, it's real.
Yeah.
But she helps connect them with dark voices, etc. And she's able to tap in to some stuff. I don't really remember what she says to them.
Yeah.
It kind of, well, it immediately kind of clips over to Morgan, which is Cole's daughter. And she's going through her own stuff because it comes out she's the next prophet of the Black Temple. She's in charge, sort of. She still has to prove herself. And there's a bunch of rich business guys who've joined this Black Temple for the chance at immortality and all the usual power stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, is this really the right prophet? You said that last time with the awesome prophet, and look what happened then.
Yep.
So Morgan really feels like she has to prove herself. They need to find the 3 seals, and they still kind of don't know how that'll help them with pleasing the Dark Lords.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're trying to find the 3rd seal. It's been like 80 years since they found the 1st seal, so a lot of them are like, I'm getting really old. I need immortality now.
Yeah.
It's not said, but, you know, that's implied. Like, how much longer can we wait?
Right.
If she's really like the prophet, she should be able to lead us.
Yeah, and there is one particular old guy that is like basically having a lot of doubts, and then he gets excommunicated.
Yeah, because he's like, he's the one who's speaking up and saying all that like stuff. And they're like, there can't be dissent in our ranks.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
And of course his son's like, can I have this seat?
Yeah.
Oh, were you sitting here?
He literally asks his dad, can I have your seat?
Yeah.
And then also we see that Morgan during the daytime, a lot of times she, you know, sits out there and begs. She has the little sign that says, be nice, I'm the prophet of a new age. And her mentor, who I forget the name of, Zephon or something.
Yeah, Zephon.
Her mentor is like, why do you sit out here? Morgan, what are you doing? You're the great prophet. You're like literally the new age prophet. And Morgan says it's because it reminds me that they're not worth saving. Like all the people she sees who like walk by her and act horrible and stuff to each other on the street side, she's like, they all suck. Mankind, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve anything.
Talk about bias sampling.
I know, immediately.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Cole, Haley, and Ortiz and Morphea have like together decided to they're gonna go to where the Black Temple is, right? Well,
Or
where
where
They're trying to find
their headquarters was when
Yeah.
Morphea was still a part of them.
Well, when she like found out about them initially, she did a lot of research, and I think she uncovered the location.
Oh, okay.
Because obviously it's been abandoned since then. They find out. They're like, huh. Then they get to meet inside the Black Temple's old abandoned mansion a vampire.
Yeah.
A vampire who comes out. He's very big and bumbling, and they're able to subdue him. And it comes out that he's obsessed with Cody Bloom,
Yes.
who is one of the most famous movie stars in the world at one point. And then he just kind of disappeared.
He went crazy and then disappeared.
Yeah. So it comes out that the Black Temple helped Cody Bloom rise to movie fame. Then he became their prophet. And what we know, what not necessarily they're told, is that the pressure got to him. Maybe he wasn't the right choice. Whatever happened, he ran away. And so, of course, the Black Temple since then has been like, do we trust these prophets? Are they just gonna abscond?
Yeah.
In the meantime, Morgan is, feeling the pressure of finding the third seal. She takes some black root tea or something. Something that's kind of poisonous if taken in too much amount to go on a trip to see visions. And she's trying to connect with the Dark Lords and figure out where the third seal is. And they tell her the ghosts.
Yeah.
You have to go to the ghosts. So she gets it. The hurricane ghosts.
Hurricane ghosts in Florida.
The ghost storm. So yeah, she goes to the ghost storm.
Yeah, and then when there, she starts like trying to like commune with the ghosts basically and be all like, "Hey, where's the third seal?"
And they're just like the people on the street. They're very rude.
Yeah.
They make gross jokes.
Because it also seems like they're like teenagers that are.
Yeah, they're
these
just.
ghosts.
I think the whole idea is they're just people, and like they say, the Dark Lords kind of show them where to go, and they just kind of follow that blindly. They're not super on a mission. They're just doing it, going with the flow. But they do say, when you're living, you take and you take. When you're dead, you give and you give. So you should be dead. That's the point.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, Cole, the rest, they're doing more research. They're trying to figure out, how do they find Cody Bloom? And they find out that he has a compound in, where is
Big
it?
Sur, California.
Big Sur, of course. So they're going to go track him down there. Yeah.
And then, and also the ghosts do eventually give Morgan a type of vision. They rain down on her.
They, completely destroy the dude who's next to her, who is just, a contractor with a gun.
Oh, I didn't even notice that, but you're totally right.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they try to rip apart her arm, too.
Yeah.
So, not today.
So I think technically they show her their visions, and along with the visions she's already had, she pieces it together. We kind of skipped over it, but it's so hard to talk about in between everything. But we've been seeing a lot of 6,000 years ago, when presumably the Dark Lords were on Earth, and they, they made the third seal, this little albino monkey.
Yep.
And the monkey got taken captive years and years, the 6,000 years later. The monkey's somewhere. It's been poached.
Yeah, it was labeled as the missing link for a a traveling circus kind of thing.
That was at the start of the Industrial Revolution or something.
Something like that.
Also, Morgan, because she made it out of the ghost storm, was convinced everybody in the what do we say, Dark Lords?
The Dark Order.
The Dark
Order?
Temple, yeah.
Dark Temple. That she is, in fact,
She's
the prophet.
finally proven herself as the prophet. Good for her.
Yeah.
It is hard to argue with the results of pulling the sword out of a ghost storm.
Well, she had the sword already. That's her sword, right?
Yeah, it is.
That's the second seal, I think.
Yes, it is.
And so she realizes
That
the
makes sense.
second seal. Well, okay. She really realized that at the end of the book, of course.
Yeah.
They have a great party. They're like, wow, Morgan's really proven herself. And also, we're about to end the world and bring back the Dark Lords. We really should party. This is our last party. And so, of course, they have one of those hedonistic parties.
Yes.
Yeah.
While the guys are tracking down Cody Bloom, they break into his compound. His main security system is roided out zombies.
Yeah.
Which just means bodybuilding dudes, but zombies.
Yeah, they all go, bro.
Everybody's, because everybody's teamed up, just the old timers and the rookies, I think, also have come along.
Yeah.
They're able to take them out, knock out Cody Bloom, especially since Morphea knocks out his butler and just hangs out in his helicopter that he's supposed to leave in.
Yep.
Yeah. But Morgan at the party is all she's like, I don't want to party, I'm just not feeling like it. And then internally, she's like, all I saw from that vision from the ghost storm was this like white ape, you know, like that doesn't really give me anything to work off of what that means. So she decides to take bits of like a lot of the black root, you know, which again is poisonous. So she's kind of, you know, either she's going to get results or she's going to die trying.
So she realizes that second seal and the third seal go together. Use the sword to kill the monkey. And you'll bring back the Dark Lords and kill everybody. And so that's the big secret that Cody Bloom also reveals, is that this isn't, nobody's going to get immortality. Everybody's going to die. And that's the point. And a lot of, I don't remember which section it is exactly, where they go on about how the zombies are the antibodies that the earth is putting out to destroy the curse that is humanity, who is ruining the earth.
Yeah. Also, things that we also didn't to say, but also because it's still pretty ambiguous and mysterious, is that there's like space bird people and also space fish people.
Yeah, they look akin to some sort of interpretation of angels.
Yeah.
And we're not quite sure what they're doing in those like interlude areas.
Yeah.
What we do get is that they trapped the Dark Temple, or the Lords.
Dark Lords.
Yeah.
They were the ones who fought back against the Dark Lords.
Yeah, and it seems like the second seal, the sword, is probably from them. It looks reminiscent of their
Yeah, it's very their
bodies.
style.
And they're so I think they're the ones that set the seals, like they created them. So they imprisoned the Dark Lords, or
Yeah, because they make the monkey originally, right?
Yeah, which I mean makes sense, because if they like, I mean that's what a seal does. It seals them away.
Yes.
Yeah. Somebody had to do it. But where are they now?
Yeah.
And that is the end of the book, part 1. I'm not sure how many other books there are.
I think there's just 2 volumes.
That makes sense. This really does feel like a middle point kind of section.
Yeah.
So I was like, they revealed a lot of the plot in this, which I can appreciate.
Yeah, for sure. I don't imagine, like,
Trying to drag it out.
Yeah, into more issues and volumes and
Because
stuff.
they pretty much were like, Morgan is the new prophet.
Yeah.
And her father's just got to find out by the middle point here.
Yeah, and it feels unlikely that you could raise the stakes past the world ending.
Surprise! I'm your daughter. You're my father.
Yeah.
I'm, against each other, two sides.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, what did you guys think of this?
Didn't like it in the beginning.
Oh,
at
really?
First, yeah.
Jake, did you looked like you had something for a second there.
I was just gonna say that it was fine. Maybe it's just 'cause, like I didn't have enough time to like ruminate on this, but like it didn't do much for me, like either hating it or loving it.
Interesting.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think like I wouldn't like put it up there, it's like it's definitely like middle of the road, but maybe like somewhere between a C and a B on a grading scale,
It's kind of typical, these sort of plots where the world's ending and versus the super dark order that's going to bring back the Dark Lords, and they're like, we're gonna kill everybody. It's like, that's a surprise.
Yeah.
It's not.
In some ways, it's very on the nose with its metaphors and themes.
I think that's the part that really dragged me down.
Okay.
When they like looked out the window, we're like, look at them. They're just like the zombies we killed. I'm like, you know better than the evil side.
I mean, I did think that the opening pages that had like, no text was like pretty evocative of like, like a like very like capitalist like factory work.
All the little monkeys dragging the stuff along. The one monkey's like fed up with dragging this stuff, and he starts yelling about stuff, and so the big mass of eyes directs the other monkeys to destroy him.
Yeah.
Massacre.
That was
and then,
rough.
And then they
They-
get back to work.
And they
Yep.
and they like kind of get out of the trance they were in to kill him, and they realize what they've done, but all they can do is get back to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was really strong. I think the scene setting of like all I had was like 2 pages to really be like ghost storm, ghosts attack, vampires attack, zombies attack. And you're like, okay, I get it. This world is really messed up right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also, I think that was like pretty clearly to me, like, this is all like climate change.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's a ghost storm. Not a regular storm. We can deal with regular storms. Those are fine.
Yeah. And they're, you know, when they're all like, oh, you know, the one that comes to Florida, it's like, now it's here. Before, people didn't have to care because it was in other countries, you know. It's like, yeah. Yeah.
Before we get too much more in the discussion, do your guys' editions have like past the alternate covers, like the job ad,
Yeah.
like little comic?
Yeah, I didn't read it
For
though.
this? Oh, okay.
Oh, I did.
It's just like, I guess these are things that just happen. Like they'll just occasionally be vampire attacks and stuff, which is weird. But I wish they'd done a little more with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. And this was, I think, it says, yeah, the original short story written and drawn by Wes Craig. So this was like kind of the like proof of concept. Somebody, you know, or like,
Interesting.
you know, people probably read it and then was like, yeah, I want more of this, you know.
Yeah, because they're shown to do like gardening and typical menial tasks.
But also
Fighting,
Yeah.
yeah, monsters.
That's them in the daytime. At night.
I mean, they have a whole thing with Cole. You know, Cole really is the main character. You know, Morgan, his daughter. He knows that she's involved in this somehow. Comes out, she's the main antagonist, technically, kind of. And they have that one section where I think Morphea the witch asks him like, "Did your wife stay dead?" And he goes, "No." Of course
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so impactful.
Yeah.
But we don't really see it. Is
we
it gonna
actually,
come back later?
it does happen in the last page of the
Okay.
black and white comic.
Okay. So
Yeah.
there's a callback to that.
Yeah.
I figured that was his wife.
Yeah, that you see it zooms in on the ring on the finger.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to use my eye.
I wasn't quite sure if that was Cole or not.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I had to use the hats to be able to tell who's who for the longest time.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Cole, Ortiz, and Haley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just had such low expectations for this book that I was surprised by like a coherent storyline that had answers for me pretty quickly instead of being like, I don't know, you'll have to read the
Yeah.
next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think it might give too many answers in everybody's gonna die, which, okay, to be fair, we kind of assumed that would happen.
Yeah.
So what else is there to reveal?
Yeah. And also with that, in some ways, that wasn't a big surprise for me, like, at all, because
Yeah.
it was like they were saying, like, you know, we're not really going to give these rich guys, you know, immortality. They're going to die.
Yeah, they
So it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess I had already assumed that, yeah, even the prophet and the mentor are going to die too, I guess.
Yeah, and Morgan seems pretty fine with that. That's why she does her little sitting
Yeah.
on the street side routine.
I guess, yeah, that's maybe more of a reveal for Cole and the rest of the Gravedigger Union.
That is the thing, though. As I said, Cole's the main character. It doesn't feel like they do a lot of main character things. Like, Morgan really is taking front seat.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. And also on that, you know, there's still a lot of questions to be asked about, like, Cole's history, I guess. Like, why, if it's so taboo to be with witches, you know, why
Talk
does...
to witches. They've dipped into the union funds twice.
Yeah.
Like, but the world's gonna end, so do I really care about those stakes?
Yeah.
Like,
But-
what are they actually doing that's
Yeah.
like putting themselves in jeopardy beyond like the typical danger? And they haven't really had too much problem. Like, they killed the vampire, pretty fine. They took down Cody's security zombies pretty fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just not enough time, it feels like, for their sections to ever have them pressed against the wall and like in a corner kind of thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I do want to know why Cole even knows the witch, and also what happened with his wife, I guess.
With his daughter too.
And
like
his
why
daughter.
they separated is probably pretty important to how they're gonna like reconcile.
Yeah.
The world's not gonna end. The book would not have that world end. It'd be kind of sad.
Yeah.
But
Surprise.
Yeah. That's all you need for a story is a twist.
Yeah.
What if we killed everybody?
Yeah. I will say, I think that this volume like left a good impression, positive impression on me, because it ended pretty well. Like it ended on a cliffhanger, and it was like, I actually want to know how it's going to end.
But it was self-contained enough where you got some answers to certain things. That's what I really appreciate about it, because that's really hard to find in these ones which are like, read the next one and then the next one and we'll continue into the spin-off, where they have to like just keep dragging you out.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, you don't really have any answers to anything. You just like writing a weird question. But I think it kind of goes hand in hand with the art. I feel like certain portions I wasn't totally sure what the characters' expressions were supposed to mean. They kind of had to spell it out for me verbally, which they did. Which also was sometimes not exactly. It was not subtle with certain things.
Yeah. Do you mind if I look at the print version real quick?
Sure.
Because I did feel like while reading it digitally, I mean, generally, print is better than digital. That's my
You
ice
just
cold
got
take.
a 40-inch TV and put the pages onto that.
Yeah, but I liked the overall design of the junk golem in the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking at it on a small screen, I was like, this doesn't look as good as I think it would in print. And
I think it's the human faces.
yeah. What about them? What do you mean?
Just that sometimes I'm not sure what the intention is to communicate with them. Like Morgan staring at the people on the street side, I couldn't figure out for the life of me what she felt about any of this until she was like, I think they don't deserve to be saved. And I was like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to understand visually some things. And sometimes I was like, I know sometimes I felt like I wasn't sure what was real and what was imagined, what was supposed to be an apparition in Morgan's mind. And I know, like, you could make the argument that that's the point. What is real, what isn't, she can't tell anymore. But also sometimes I was like, I have no idea what's going on.
So what you got the impression that they were trying to even show kind of an element of maybe there is uncertainty with what she's seeing?
I just assume that's the intention, because that's typically what people say when you like can't tell what's real, what's not. They're like, oh, because it's kind of loosey-goosey.
Interesting, because I didn't get that at all.
Because I mean, that's the thing. I don't know if it's intentional. I think that's the problem. Like, there's certain portions where the intention is just kind of vague.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at some stuff where you're talking about like the part where they're talking about like whether what's the witch's name? Morphia actually like lives in a trailer or not, or
I'm just talking about the comic in general. There's a lot of different scenes where I don't know. It's difficult.
Yeah.
There's so many different things. Like, she's here, there's a light here, where's it coming from? There's all these different colors, and then is that a vision that she's getting? It's very real. I don't know. And
I see. Okay. Yeah. I guess
I
that
think
didn't.
It bothered me a little bit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That wasn't so confusing for me, but I understand what you mean.
Maybe it's just reading it so quick.
Yeah. That's true. That's fair. Yeah, though, because I didn't feel like there was like too much like reality ambiguity for me. I was just like,
Same.
what they're showing is what's happening.
Yeah.
there was, I guess.
It's like, okay, sorry.
Yeah,
They're
go
like, they have this section, they see this. I don't know where it is in relation to them. I think it's a little bit of layout stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I could see that being
And
the
then
case.
he's there and he's there and etc. Yeah.
To be clear, for those that can't see, we're talking about a page in
the
which
vampire attacks.
the vampire attacks, and there's the alien body, which I don't know if we even mentioned the alien body.
He's just
Real missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vampire feeding on an alien. That should mean so much more.
It should. And also it'd be kind of cool to have an alien vampire, not just a
Oh yeah.
have the alien wake up and be their new best friend.
yeah. Or alternatively, maybe the vampire has special alien powers from feeding on the aliens.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, they just beat the vampire with a net, I think. Is that the right one?
It's a
I'm thinking of?
magical net because Morphea touched it probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess.
That's kind of what I mean, where it's just sometimes things happen.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point, actually. And yeah, sometimes there is a little bit of a tonal jump where it's all like,
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah,
That is like my main thought about this is the tonal jump of being like, this vampire is obsessed with a movie star. And I'm like, huh? like I said, I have like Cthulhu style of music playing as I'm like reading about this man's obsession with Cody Bloom.
Yeah, it's
Heartthrob.
it's very serious and like, not like ultra violent, but just like general violent,
But meanwhile, Morgan is finding out how to like end the earth.
Yeah.
I'm like, am I supposed to be laughing? Like,
Yeah.
And then it's
Probably.
just kind of like goes past it. Doesn't matter anymore. They killed the vampire. It's supposed to, I think, because definitely certain parts are supposed to be so grotesque, so over the top that they're parody, like Cody Bloom, how they have to talk to him about his favorite movie or whatever to get him to calm down.
Which also, it's not just his favorite movie. The favorite movie that he starred in, which apparently he starred in a Star Wars.
No, it's his favorite movie that he
that he-
hasn't starred in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, really?
Okay.
Because they're like, you can't say one of your movies.
I missed that.
So he says Star Wars. It's
Okay.
like, I'm like Yoda because I speak in fragmented sentences. They don't say that, but she does speak in fragmented sentences.
Yeah.
See,
I'm like Yoda. I'm like the green thing, and you're like the Star Wars guy. He's like, Luke?
is that what? Wow. Yeah, I totally
Yeah.
missed that.
Which, yeah, I think I'm supposed to laugh at that. But I'm
Yes.
too busy watching Morgan, like, almost die to get the, like, how to bring the dark gods back to kill everyone.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna make me laugh or if you guys are just being inappropriate.
Yeah.
Because I feel like at the same time, you could see that scene, that conversation where she's trying to be nice to him and relate to what he knows, movies.
Right.
You could almost see it as a humanizing thing for him. But so much of this book wants to parody real life. With the, like, the consumers out there are like zombies. I can't get over that shot.
Yeah.
Baby's first philosophy paper.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely like, I think that it's going for kind of, have you seen the movie They Live?
I don't know if I have.
It's, Roddy
Is that the one Roddy Piper's in?
Yeah. Which is a pro wrestler. And there's a famous fight scene in it. The concept is that there is a bunch of aliens living among us, but you can't see them until the Resistance makes these special sunglasses that like lets you see the real world. And sorry, you're
Large sigh.
yeah, and so when you see the real world, it's in black and white, and like all of the advertisements and stuff say like obey, reproduce, like stuff like that.
Are you sure you're not talking about Free Guy?
No.
We love subtlety.
Yeah, and then the aliens are like rich people,
Yeah.
and so anyway, yeah,
Because they're
What is it called?
inhuman.
They Live.
They Live. Okay.
But yeah, so that kind of reminds me of what you're complaining about, except for I love that movie, but
So even like, there's so many scenes of this. Of
Yeah.
Like the storm, the ghost storm is happening. There may be 20,000 dead, and like Cole is watching these people start tap 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 on their phones, and he's just getting irritated by how much they're tapping on their phones because people are obsessed with their phones, even though there's disasters happening. And I'm like, I don't know if you're gonna go see your daughter and be like, I think everybody should live.
Yeah.
which
don't
maybe
know.
that's the twist. Maybe they have like the Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow,
Oh
like
my
they
God.
switch positions.
She's like, but Dad, I actually care about these people who throw cans at me when I beg for money.
Yeah. A lot can happen in a second volume.
That's true.
I'm like, which of these characters actually cares about humanity enough to save it
Yeah.
beyond their own butt?
Well,
true.
Haley, probably. Or Hallie.
Yeah.
I mean, he cares about his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it is just like Haley going, Cole, we can't do this. We can't dip into union funds. We can't go see the witches. And Cole being like, I'm going to do
Is the
it.
union funds just a pile of money?
Yeah.
Unlimited
Because
money.
like, how else are they accessing it without the boss knowing? And like, the boss is completely uninterested.
They
It's like,
need-
I know I said you couldn't take that trip, but yes, I will let you see all
They're
this money.
having a luncheon and they need to buy a lot of sandwiches. He understands.
Yes,
Yeah.
boss, you're invited.
We need new shovels.
Yeah. Yeah, just
Oh god, that too. They just use pickaxes and shovels for all their fighting, despite having been doing this for a while.
It's like the Ghostbusters, but if they were only able to use a Dyson, which I kind of do.
Like, nobody came up with a better way to do this than a shovel.
No wonder you're having trouble with like hordes of zombies and giant zombies turning into one Gollum zombie.
yeah.
You guys work in America. Buy a gun.
We actually haven't seen a gun in this book. I think.
Oh, except for that one guy in Florida.
Oh yeah, the guy who got destroyed by the ghost storm
Oh, yeah.
hurricane.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't shoot ghosts.
Yeah.
She
Fine.
goes,
Wait.
why do you have that gun?
Supernatural taught us you can just fill it with rock salt.
But it's like, I'm pretty sure the zombies, you can shoot them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, and also, how do you fight a ghost? We haven't actually seen them fight
I
ghosts
don't know.
yet.
No, I mean, no, they just avoid them.
Yeah, I guess so.
We're the Ghostbusters in this world
Yeah.
versus
Yeah.
the Gravediggers Union.
Yeah, also another question that I have from this is, why did they have to unionize? Where are the Gravedigger
Scabs.
Yeah, the Gravedigger scabs and the big bosses. Like, it seems like their boss is their union leader, but I'm like, that's not usually how it is. Usually you have, I guess, yeah, a different kind of boss, like. And then you have to, like, engage in like negotiations and stuff like that when you have a difficulty.
The section where he's like reading the People magazine and like all the UFO like other
Yeah,
tabloids, and he becomes conspiracy obsessed, but somehow also reveals the info they need.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
That I wasn't sure how to read that. I was all like,
Am I supposed to be laughing?
Right.
Is this a tragic tale about how we're just, vain and surface level and we'll just fall into these pits of conspiracy? Like what am I supposed to get from
yeah.
this?
Also, is this the first time he's hearing about the lizard people
I
conspiracy
assume
theory?
so, yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty naive for a gravedigger. He has to kill zombies all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't even make sense, that line. Maybe she one of them lizard people. Rook,
Yeah.
get to the damn point. Maybe she one of them. Okay,
I
maybe
think that
that's
was a typo.
Morphea.
Yeah.
Maybe that's Morphea.
Yes. Yeah.
Which also, I don't understand Morphea's broken English.
Oh,
Her
that's
English-
supposed to be. She's in like Louisiana and like kind of like speaking like Creole.
It doesn't feel like it though.
Yeah.
It just feels like they were like, well, we need to know that she's not good at English. And I was like, are you saying something?
Yeah, she's like, thinking of Louisiana mystic, like
I assumed that's
Palm
what they were
reader.
trying to do, but I also still don't think it was executed right.
Yeah, it's always tough doing.
Especially when she's like, I'm like Yoda. Like,
Okay.
Don't say that.
I'm not necessarily opposed to that interpretation of that scene, but I also don't think that that's what they were going for. I
She
think,
literally says, I'm the green one.
well, yeah, but not because of her
But
broken
because of
speech.
Mentor.
Yeah.
I thought they thought that was
Oh,
funny.
I thought it was because they lived in the swamp.
No, I don't think that's the case either, but maybe it's all three. Who knows?
She should have said she's like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well, yeah, because it's Obi-Wan is the like mentor, but Yoda teaches
Initially.
Luke how to use the Force.
Every day I learn more about Star Wars.
You telling me you haven't seen Star Wars?
I've seen it. I don't remember.
No?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's kind of fair. I get it.
So, I don't know. Would you read the next one?
I would.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd really seek it out, but I did like this. I liked it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Despite the tonal whiplash, which I wasn't totally sure how to make, I liked it more than I thought I would, which it was a really low bar. So this exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, I mean, I came in, I think that I was much more positive, like, coming into this episode, you know?
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they totally could have done more with the setting. The more we talk about, the more I'm like, I want to see Ghost World.
Yeah. It does seem like a world ripe for exploration.
But it does kind of feel like they're very much sticking to the one-to-one of
Yeah.
like global warming. Nobody pays attention to the ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah, like, yeah, you can, it is, like, pretty much, like, yeah, just, like, the ghosts are climate change, like, maybe the vampires are, like, deforestation, because they're in Brazil. Yeah. The zombies are consumerism, and...
Where's the zombie Happy Meal? Like, where is the consumerism taking these natural disasters and turning into more chance for consuming?
Yeah. Yeah, and it feels like another thing that I just realized this kind of reminds me of. I never finished it past the first volume, but the what is his name? Lead singer of My Chemical Romance.
I know which one.
Gerard Way.
Yeah.
Gerard Way, Doom Patrol. They set up a situation where Danny the Living Street, who's from the Grant Morrison Doom Patrol, they start basically like mining him and turning him into Danny burgers and selling them. And
That's not what I thought you were saying at all.
and so yeah, it's very like tonally similar of like corporate greed, but kind of funny. Yeah. That's what this also reminds me of.
People keep doing this.
Yeah.
We're
So
just zombies.
Yeah. Feels a very Gen X kind of attitude, I think. But yeah, I don't know. I did like it. I think, yeah, it's hard for me to say that I would seek out the second volume, but if it was like in front of me, I would consider it.
Yeah, about the same.
Yeah, and it's nice to know that I'm like, yeah, they're probably going to just finish it in the second volume. So it's
that is such a huge A+.
Yeah.
Like, you mean it's gonna end? I know I keep saying that, but
Yeah.
wow.
I even saw that it was even shorter than this volume.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it's like 126
Okay.
pages.
I mean, yeah. How
Only
much more can you do?
Yeah. 4 more issues.
You gotta stop them from killing the monkey. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I all of a sudden want the monkey to be like giant, but it's not.
Just a cute little monkey.
Yeah.
Like in Godzilla X Kong, where it's like it's a little monkey, but then you forget it's like always like
Where are they
a
keeping it?
size of a
Taylor?
building.
Yeah.
Underground.
Does he just grow as he gets older? Is that what you're thinking? It's been 6,000 years.
The moment it got to Japan, kaiju.
Oh yeah, that is. I do wonder. Yeah, we only see 3 instances of like paranormal, supernatural creatures. Like, you know, is there more? Is there?
The only things you have to deal with are vampires, zombies, and ghosts. That's it.
Yeah. What about ghouls? Skeletons.
Why was it so exciting that zombie could talk? I still don't get that with the selfie zombie. Too.
Well, because it was saying a message specifically. That confused me too. And then it was when we were talking about it, I was like, oh, I get it now. The other ones were just saying like babbling words, you know. This
Phrases
one,
they knew.
Yeah. This one was saying a specific message to Cole about his daughter.
What a way to send a message. Also, who sent that message in that medallion?
That's a question. A question that we're not reminded of.
No.
So yeah, Jake, it sounds like you had like the least kind of interest in this book out of all of us towards the end.
Yeah, I'd say that was fair. I probably would not read the second one.
Jake's seen it all. He doesn't need more.
Not that. It's just like, it wasn't that interesting.
Yeah.
There's other stuff I could be reading. Will I read it? Probably not. But
It's there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's real. I did also one more comparison. I think that this in terms of if we were really like committed to like the climate change like allegory, did better than Swamp Thing Green Hell.
Yeah. But they had to wrap that thing up really quickly, to be fair.
That's true.
That is my one worry about this, that they're going to just wrap it up really quickly.
Yeah, that is also true. Like, you know, with like stakes that big, you know, and if we are like, you know, no, this is the problem is like climate change and like, you know, humanity's like, you know, kind of consumption of earth resources, you know, how you can't just like put a bow on that and be like, yep, now we're good. We're good.
We sent out a PSA and everybody understood that they gotta be a little nicer.
Yeah. A little nicer and use less stuff, and also
Shorter showers.
yeah, get all of the billionaires to stop being uncool. And, yeah.
If only the world was ruled by one young lady, I guess. It's Morgan. You just gotta convince Morgan.
Yeah, just gotta convince her. Yeah, so also one thing that, because I got distracted earlier and I wanted to talk about, was you were talking about the art and the faces and stuff. And I think that this does really well in conveying characterization through the art, but like you were saying, not reaction and like emotion. Like, I felt like I knew how everybody was supposed to sound based on how they looked, but yeah, not so much like, you know, and also action to a degree, like not
Pretty good at figures.
Yeah.
Those faces get kind of wobbly in
Yeah.
a way that bothers me. I'm like, is she expressing an emotion, or is this just how they drew her for this panel?
Yeah. On one of like the first pages when they're the Fox News, you know, they have the lady that's like looks so stupid, but it's obviously on purpose. Like, she's a Fox News commentator. It's like her eye is like out here, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I
that
love.
reminds me. Who's a ghost skeptic in this universe?
I know. I was gonna say, like, do
Well-
you just think that the hurricane is not a ghost storm?
Well, I assumed that was a climate denier. Like, you know, it's an exact parallel.
It does. It kind of feels like it really sets the tone of like, no, ghosts aren't real. You just made up those ghost storms.
Yeah. It's perfectly natural.
Those 20,000 people just left for other cities and better jobs.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you, Jake, though. Even though I said that it makes sense, it also doesn't make sense because, like, you know, it's not a perfect parallel.
It's supposed to be a parody.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be very over the top. And so that's always kind of weird when it is trying to be serious.
Yeah.
It's over the top, but serious. I don't know. There's a way to do it. And sometimes it didn't fully hit.
Yeah.
Oh, that vampire's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was weird. Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts? Last thoughts? Yeah. I think it did well. I think that I don't think I'd put it as a number 4, a second to the bottom. I think it does a little bit better than that.
Yeah, it grew on me. Beginning, it took a little bit, but grew on me a lot for the end.
Okay. Well, cool. I guess that's all that we have for this episode. Until next time, I'm Cody.
I'm Talon.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Shawenta.
And we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.
If you like this episode, be sure to follow us on Twitter at the Comic Panel 1 and listen to more of us on the Comic Panel podcast on Spotify. Be sure to tune in 2 weeks from now for our Comics Roulette post-mortem.
And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.